anglers, Michael Shera with Fishing's Future. In today's program, we are going to talk and learn about adaptation, habitat, and then we're going to fashion a fish. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. You should see adaptations, fashion a fish, and a little fish living in a glass bowl. My take-home objectives for you today are to explain the meaning of adaptation and habitat, to describe how adaptations can help fish survive in their habitats or their environment, the importance of adaptation in animals, and the fashion of fish is to draw a make-believe fish and its habitat that could live in Texas. Before we look at a fish and its adaptation, let's take a look at the fish adaptations in water. Fish have gills that allow them to breathe oxygen in the water. Fish have a streamlined body. Most fish have several fins for swimming. Fish have a system of muscles for movement. Most fish have a swim bladder. Now that we know the meaning of adaptation and habitat, and we've learned a little bit more about adaptation of fish in the water, let's take a look at the southern flounder. Can you see it? There it is. The southern flounder has had to adapt to living on the ocean floor or in the Gulf of Mexico. It does not have a swim bladder. Swim bladders help fish move around the water with their fins and their tails. Since southern flounder do not have air bladders, they've had to learn to adapt on lying on the ocean or Gulf of Mexico floor. Their body shapes are flat and round, and their coloration is whatever they can throw on top of their bodies. So in this case, when the southern flounder came to rest on the floor of the Gulf of Mexico, it shakes and vibrates, and all the habitat gets placed on top of its body. Let's take a look at some of the types of adaptation that fish have. We're going to first talk about their mouths, then their body shapes, and then the coloration of their bodies that they have adapted in their types of water and how they hide in their habitat and how they feed in their habitat. So there's three basic types of mouths: bottom or inferior, where their upper lip here is over their lower lip. These are your bottom feeders. Everything, their eyes are looking downward, their faces are looking downward, where they can feed on the bottom. Then you have final or terminal, where their upper lip is the same as their lower lip. These type of fish can feed frontwards, upwards, and even downwards. We have upper or superior, where these fish lower lips are in front of their upper lips, and these fish tend to feed upward. They can also feed in front, but when they want to feed on the bottom, their whole bodies need to turn to look downward for them to feed. Let's now take a look at body shapes. So there are four basic body shapes that fish have. We have that torpedo shape, which is oval. We have the flat-bellied, kind of like the channel catfish. They also like to sit on the floor of waterways. We have vertical, like the sunfish. And we have a horizontal disc, which they're kind of flat, like the southern flounder. Now that we have learned about the mouth and the body shape, let's start looking at the coloration of the fish. And coloration of fish in adaptation and their habitat is very, very important about their survivability, on how they disappear. Kind of like that southern flounder, the way it disappears when it lies on the bottom of the ocean or the Gulf floor. So lightly colored bellies like this, look at this lightly colored belly. The bluegill is dark on top and light on the bottom. So if there's a bigger fish down here looking up at it that wants to eat the little fish, and the sun is here, fish do not have eyelids to close their eyes. So this fish, the little bluegill, by the coloration of a light and dark, big fish looking into the sun cannot see that fish. Dark upper sides, kind of the reverse if a big fish is up here and it's darker down here. When the fish looks this way to eat this fish, this white or black crappie will disappear with the bottom floor. Vertical stripes and fish, they can disappear in rocks or in grass areas. Molted coloration, where it's kind of like camouflage. So if this fish is in a lot of heavy vegetation and little fish are out here, this fish can go and ambush other fish to feed. I would like to introduce to you one more fish, and this is the Guadalupe bass. It is the official freshwater fish of Texas. Texas also has an official saltwater fish, and that is the redfish or the red drum. I may not have mentioned this earlier, but we have three types of water: freshwater, saltwater, and where the freshwater and saltwater meet, or what we call our estuaries or nurseries, it's called brackish water. Now, the Guadalupe bass adaptation, it has adapted to live in small streams in the hill country of Texas. It can grow up to 17 inches. Loves the rivers of the Guadalupe, the Brazos, the Colorado, and many other fast-flowing and slow-moving streams in this great state of Texas. It likes to eat insects and crawfish and small fish, but it's currently listed as a threatened species due to some habitat issues. One thing about our streams in Texas, during droughts, they dry up. And you know what happens when our streams dry up? Fish need to relocate. Let's get started on fashion of fish. This time, your teacher may want to stop this video so she or he can pass out some paper and some crayons for you to start fashioning your fish. On the front side, draw your fish, put your name on it, and on the back side, put some facts about it. You know, what your fish likes to eat, what kind of habitat it lives in, and anything else that you want to put or talk about your fish. So let me share my screen again. So on one side, you'll have your drawing of your fish, the name of your fish, some habitat about your fish. And then on the back side, you can put today we studied adaptation, put my new fish's name, just like you put on the front. What my fish eats, some fun facts about my fish, where my fish lives, and maybe some list of adaptations. So here would be on the front page if this is what you wanted to draw. Smiles a lot surfer fish. Put some of his habitat there, which is the cool wave. And then on the other side, today we studied adaptation, the fish's name again, what my fish eats, fun facts, where my fish lives, and some adaptations. I hope you anglers had a great time today learning about adaptations and habitats. I look forward to seeing your fashion of fish. So when you're done, please hand in your drawings to your teacher, and I will get them, and I look forward to seeing them. Have a most wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon.